7 of Unit 5. What was the scientific revolution? Now, I know that the scientific revolution is a topic that we have already introduced, but we are going to take a little bit of a closer look into it, and we will be taking a deeper dive into the scientific revolution next week. So we've opened up our pod. The first thing that we're supposed to do is open up our Padlet link, and then what does Direction 2 say? Oh, watch the mini lesson. Well, that's what you're watching right now, so good job. So to get started on this mini lesson, you only have 5 questions to answer in your pod. Major hint. The answers for questions 1 through 4 are in this reading, and you can watch this video that is attached to it, okay? But a little bit about the scientific revolution. It is a period of time from the 1500s to the 1700s, and this is when scholars started to question their beliefs about the world and base their conclusions on observation and reason rather than spiritual belief or what organizations like the Catholic Church told them. Now, you might say, I already know this, we learned this last week, but we're reviewing so that when we start to look at what the ideas were that came out of the scientific revolution next week, that we feel really comfortable with them. To touch on this idea about the Catholic Church, I want to remind us that during this time period, the 1500s to the 1700s, Europe was coming out of the medieval times. Remember, the Catholic Church controlled the social and political life in Europe, and everyone followed the teachings of the Catholic Church. So the scientific revolution started to challenge that because it started to provide new ideas into society. And the scientific revolution, along with the Enlightenment, was a major turning point in history. It was a major change. All of a sudden, society started to change. This is where we see the scientific method, which we were introduced to last week. These ideas of the scientific revolution come from Greek, Roman, and Muslim scholars. So there was inspiration for the European scholars that really are what formed the scientific revolution in Europe. And I'll just end with this, that the scientific revolution changed the way that people look at the world and how one finds truth, and provided later scientists with the tools they needed to make advances in technology that shaped the rest of global history. Now, this brings us to, we just answered questions 1 through 4, reviewing this information and reading this entire document. Now we have question 5, which I'm just going to bring us to question 5 right here. So question 5 is, what enduring issues from the list below, right here, are related to the major turning point in history to the scientific revolution and the Enlightenment? Explain. And then I mentioned this just a moment ago, but I included it here. The scientific revolution and Enlightenment changed the way society operated around the globe. Prior to the scientific revolution and Enlightenment, the Catholic Church was a social and political authority in Europe. So you have the choice of need for impact and innovation, or impact of ideas and beliefs, and which I explain in here in detail, but you have your definition for both enduring issues. Review the definitions, and in your opinion, which one relates best to the major turning points in history of the scientific revolution and Enlightenment, and then explain why. Okay? So, have fun.